And if we sign no more players, we'll be lucky to finish in the European spots. And I don't mean Champions League. Right. So this is the Liverpool squad, the slim pickings we have. And this even has the ones currently injured. And I want you to look at the question marks, because every single one of these is a player who might not be here in 3 weeks, or a player Arioli doesn't fully trust yet, or they're injured, and some long term. Count them. That's not a squad. It's barely enough for a kickabout with your jumpers as goalposts. It's embarrassing. Our holes were embarrassing last season, and they've gotten worse. This is bad enough for the run-of-the-mill manager, like Alonso or Arteta. It's a disaster with a manager who presses higher than anybody in the league. And that's our new gaffer. So today, the gaps, the rumours that are supposed to fix them, and whether any of them are actually true. No signings, just what's in the building. Let's go. Right. Let's start here. Bottom of your screen, right back. Frimpong, Bradley, Ramsey, all with question marks. Frimpong is a wing-back who wants to live in the final third. Brilliant when the game's stretched, exposed when it isn't. Bradley's got everything except a clean run of fitness. And Ramsey, if he's even still here, is a fourth choice body. Here's why this matters more under Areola than it did under anyone else. In his system, the fullbacks aren't support acts, they're the press. Let me just say that again. The fullbacks aren't support acts, they are the press. They're the ones sprinting 20 yards to trap the ball on the touchline. If your right back is out, the whole trap on that side collapses, and teams will target it within 10 minutes of kickoff. It's the number one priority. There's not a marquee name, a reliable, physically durable starter who can press for 90 minutes in that position currently. We cannot run this system with a full-back rotation held together with tape. And we all know what will happen. Sabasai, our best player by a million miles last season, will end up back there. Is that what we want? Especially with the gaps in midfield. I'll get onto those in a minute. Centre-back. So Van Dijk, still the best defender at this club by a distance. Still a leader, still the one who makes the back line make sense. And then there's Xhaka, Leone, Gomez. All with question marks. That I like the young ones generally, but there's a difference between liking a prospect and asking a prospect to defend a halfway line for 38 games. Because that's what this is. Arioli's back line defends higher than any Liverpool back line you've watched in years. Every mistake is going to be a one-on-one with the keeper. And the honest bit, nobody wants to say out loud, Virgil can't play all of them. He did last season, pulled off a miracle. But he also really looked after his energy in a lot of those. Didn't sprint back when he made an error, blamed the rest of the back line. We're going to get more of that from Virgil this season, especially because he went straight to the World Cup after. So there's going to be times in this season where there's 6 or 7 games where he is not in that centre-back pairing. It will be 2 lads with barely a full season between them, defending on the halfway line. That is the scenario. Like, this is panic stations, our centre-half problem. We've only got one experienced ball-playing centre-half who's comfortable at the high line. Like, the kids need to develop, but they need the cover. Like, get this wrong, and there's no chance of us being in that top four. And Konsa is being spoken of now, but surely he'll only join if he's a successor to Van Dijk and will be playing alongside him all season. Maybe even a nod for captain, but it looks like they've already promised that to Dom. I just can't imagine him doing that jump if he's not guaranteed things like that. The number 6. Oh, God. Right. This one is tactical, so stay with me. We've got Batic, Endo, Gravenberch, Noni, Jones, McAllister, Szoboszlai. On paper, loads of midfielders. Loads. But ask yourself, who's good? Who actually does the job that Areola needs? Because the 6 in his system is a very, very specific beast. He has to read the press, trigger before it happens, cover 30 yards sideways, protect the space, the fullbacks vacate, and screen the back line when the trap fails. Who can do that out of that bunch of players? Like Gravenberch at his best is a carry the ball forward type of guy. He doesn't sit. Bacek has barely had the running games to prove anything. McAllister lost his leg last season, lost his edge. And Szoboszlai, he's better higher up. And Jones, wow, surely he's on the way out. I think he's lost his head. He can't cope with the what's happened to the team he loves, and it'd be much better moved on. Otherwise, he'll be some rotten apple, a bit like Mo Salah was last season. Sorry, Mo. So we have 7 midfielders and arguably no first choice holder for that number 6 position. It's not a depth problem. This is a profile problem. And we had profile problems all of last season too. Yet we haven't learnt from those mistakes. If I could only make one signing, I'd take the right back. If I could make 2, the second is a proper sitting midfielder. Everything about this shape depends on someone protecting the space behind the press. Having watched all the pre-season games, I do match watch-alongs, by the way, so come join me. I think he's going to ask Dom to do this sitting midfielder position. And I quite like that idea, as long as Dom is going to do it and doesn't leave the gap, because we know how much he likes to score a goal. I do feel he could make it work with some good training and good coaching, because he's got the energy to bomb forward and still get back if we lose the ball. And now our wide areas. Even more problems, wherever you look. So we've got Rio, we've got Munez, we've got Gakpo, we've got Chiesa. Now, there's a thing about this group. There's talent in it. Rio, his ceiling is generally exciting. But I want you to think about what Liverpool have actually lost from the wide areas over the last couple of years. Not the dribbling, the guaranteed goals. The winger, you could pencil in for 15, 18 before a ball is even kicked. So Mo Salah. But also Diaz, and I can go on and on and on. Nobody in this group is anywhere near that yet. Some of them might become it, but might become it is not a plan when you're chasing a title, because that's what is expected of Liverpool, no matter who they buy or not buy in pre-season. And under Areola, it's harder, not easier, because his wide forwards do enormous defensive work. You need someone who can run the channel for 90 minutes and finish. That's a rare, expensive player. We need quality over quantity. I'd happily see 2 of these question marks leave for a more wide forward who scores. Right now, the squad is stacked with potential and short on certainty. If we get both Barcola and Mbaye, then maybe we're going to be okay. But it still leaves us short on the right, especially when we have no defensive backup there too. And there you are. You might be thinking, oh, at least we're fine in the goalkeeper department. Okay, so we've got 2 keepers, tick. They're both green on my board because they're generally top level. But in Ariola's system, a keeper is a sweeper. So they have to be able to leave their line, comfortable going long, skipping the press instead of forcing it short. And Alisson can do that. But I worry about his fitness. And when he's injured, I haven't seen enough of Mamardashvili to see if he can be a sweeper keeper. So let me leave you with this. If the window shuts tonight and nothing happens, here's the team Ariana will put out. Here's the team that Liverpool, who always want to challenge for all the titles, will put out. Alisson, Frimpong, Van Dijk, Jake, Kirkes, Gravenberch, McAllister, Sobosai, Gakpo, Chiesa, Wirtz and Isak. Not great, is it? I mean, it's not even good. We've got Jake who hasn't played for 6 months. We've got Frimpong who went off injured in the last pre-season game. Might be fine by the time you see this video. Here's hoping. McAllister lost his legs last season and played the whole of the World Cup. Chiesa, not good enough. Gakpo, not good enough. Isak, please, Lord above, let him stay fit. And Wirtz, who still has to prove himself, even though I think he's a top talent. But even though I've just pulled that apart, it's not a real problem. The real problem is what we've got or not got on the bench. Like what happens week 5 or earlier when the right back pulls up? I mean, if it's Frimpong, it definitely could be first week. Macca's legs go. And then who do we bring on? Who do we bring on apart from some kids that haven't done anything? If we sign no more players, we will be lucky to finish in a European spot. And I do not mean Champions League when I say this. Yes, I'm saying it again. We need at least, and this is if nobody goes, a striker, 2 wingers, I would say 3, a sitting back, defensive and or progressive passer in the midfield, 2 right backs, and a centre half that has played in the Prem. Now that's a lot of shopping. And I'm recording this Friday, 7th of August, 25 to 8 p.m. British Standard Time. And we don't have any of those signings. Not even close. So tell me what you think in the comments. Is the right back the priority or am I wrong? Is it the 6? Get in the comments. I read them all. Like it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one. If you could just make me feel a bit more positive about the season, that would be great. Red Luca, out.